And joining us this evening on the question we are asking is there still any room for any conversation with Pakistan, given the fact that we are dealing here with a rogue Pakistan army? I'm joined by Maruf Raza, consulting editor, strategic affairs of Times Now. Joining me live from Delhi, Major General G.D. Bakshi, editor of the Indian Military Review. Also joining me live from Delhi, Major Gaurav Arya, defense analyst and expert on Kashmir operations, with us in the Delhi studios here. Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy, professor of the Center for Comparative Politics and Political Theory in JNU, joining us in our studios in Delhi. Irfan Hafiz, lone activist and lawyer, joining us live from Srinagar. And in just a bit from now, we'll also have Naved Hamid, president of the All India Muslim Majlis-e-Musharrat, joining us in just a bit. But my first question to you, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, is many would ask that retribution is what has been promised by the army today after two incidents. One on 28th of October when our soldier Mandeep was mutilated. Today, one more such episode taking place in the Machal sector. Do you think there is any scope of any other conversation with Pakistan at a time when we know we are dealing with the Pakistan army, which talks of its own commercial interests? It's a rogue army, it's a ruffian army, doesn't follow any international norms. Is there any room for any dialogue with Pakistan?
Well, you know, I'd like to say Pakistan has got off quite lightly. If you go back to Kargil, the way they mutilated our soldiers was something we should really have video filmed, and I believe that all these things should be filmed, and there should be an international campaign going all the way to the UN Human Rights Council that these are war crimes. This is not ordinary skirmishes or cross-border fighting. These are war crimes.
Absolutely.
And they must be exposed in that way. That is the only way we can expose. Of course, our answer is a different matter. We have every right to protect our soldiers, and we will do so. And it is not something on which the Pakistanis should feel that they can hit blind blood and then come back. They should know that if they attack us, they will have to pay the cost.
You're talking about India's response on the military level, but you know the question.
And also on
the question we are asking:
level.
Should there be any engagement? Should there be any dialogue? Should there be any sort of engagement with Pakistan after all that has happened?
Well, Pakistan will have to give first. They will have to go back to normal diplomatic ways of exchange. They can't both want diplomatic exchange and do barbaric military action.
But that's what they've always wanted. See, Maruf Raza, just coming to you on this point, the point is that is what Pakistan has always wanted and in fact largely gotten away with. The fact that they constantly stride this dual line, one of wanting dialogue and the peace process with India, on the other hand raging this proxy war against India. Now, when does the time come for India to finally draw the red line and say enough is enough and we cannot have any engagement on any level with Pakistan because of this that keeps happening repeatedly, including brutality and mutilation like we've seen twice in a month now?
Well, Tina, while I agree entirely with what Mr. Chenoy has said, and he is a distinguished academic with a lot of experience, I want to take this whole debate a little higher and further. The first thing is that we must understand there are 3 or 4 issues that are driving the momentum in Pakistan. One is the army's desire to constantly appear as the guardian of the Pakistani state, and they can continue to only hold that important position in the eyes of the public if they keep challenging India and confronting India, which they have got away with in the last 25 years under the belief that you can confront India and India will still be reluctant to go for a full-fledged confrontation because there is a nuclear umbrella that gives them protection. The second thing is that you must understand that both the civilian elite in the political and bureaucratic circles and the civilians who define the narrative in the media and elsewhere have always championed the other side of the argument, which is also linked with the military's argument, which is to show Pakistan as a victim of terrorism, notwithstanding the fact that they are the victims of their self-created terrorism. They are also showing Pakistan as a victim of India's aggressive muscle flexing. This goes back to the key issues that dominate the Pakistani narrative. Challenge India, bring up the Kashmir issue, play the victim card. Now, in all that scenario, what is it that we can do? The first thing I want to highlight this, and I say this with some degree of responsibility, that it was the Indian armed forces that were reluctant to go public with the evidence of the surgical strikes. There were security reasons, but more than that, the reason was that they didn't want to rub Pakistan's nose too much in the dirt. Otherwise, Pakistan would then escalate the situation. But we have built in a matrix to deal with the escalation. So I think those who talked about escalation, were basically playing up the fears of the dovish lobby. The second point to understand is that as far as India and Pakistan is concerned, we will always have a confrontational relationship as long as the Pakistan army remains the most important political, military, economic and social force in Pakistan.
That's the whole point, Maruf Raza. That's the whole point, because when we talk about Pakistan, Maruf, when we talk about Pakistan, we are actually talking about the Pakistani army, we are talking about the ISI, because the civilian government there doesn't seem to be in control at all. Let me take that question to Major General G.D. Bakshi. Major General G.D. Bakshi,
Navika,
do you think the fear
Navika,
of escalation...
I want to, Navika,
Maruf, I'll come back to you. But
Navika,
let me get in G.D. Bakshi to get in his introductory.
No, I just want to, please allow me a minute. Please allow me a minute. I just want to tell you something that, listen, don't put the blame entirely on the army per se. There are many people in the civilian establishment who have supported the military's narrative in Pakistan. Call them spineless, call them people who are jingoistic, call them people who are lacking another alternate narrative. That is why that Pakistan's army gets emboldened in their society, that they can get away with anything. They are the protectors. They are no good bunch of rogue
That's
ruffians.
right. I agree with you, Maruf. I agree with you, Maruf, because there is the civilian population that feels that this is the only institution that seems to be working. Because when there is a flood, when there is a calamity, the army is out there in front. But we do know that the generals and the military personnel as much work for their own and so-called commercial interests rather than just national interests, in Pakistan. But let me get in Major General G.D. Bakshi. Major General G.D. Bakshi, at a time when we are talking about retribution. Yes.
What Maruf sir is
my question
saying,
is to you, G.D.
what
Bakshi.
Maruf sir is saying.
G.D. Bakshi, let me ask you the question before you come in. Major General G.D. Bakshi, the question I'm asking you is, should the fear of escalation still weigh heavily on our minds, or should we actually be talking in the language that the Indian army is talking, which is retribution of a kind that will teach Pakistan a lesson?
Retribution of a kind which should be a deterrent. Look, nations have been fighting from times immemorial. All nations have had to engage in warfare sometime or the other. But Navika, we have rarely seen an army in modern time which acts in such a despicable and reprehensible manner. As Kamal Mitra Chinoy said, and I agree with him entirely, these are war crimes. This is not an ordinary skirmish, and we will have to act in a manner which is strongly deterrent. We will have to identify the units concerned which are carrying out, perpetrating these atrocities. We will have to single them out for terrible retributive action. And by that I do not mean that we have that very gentlemanly equivalence that we have been following for so far.
You're the warmonger. You're a strong warmonger. You previously also suggested and there was surgical strike.
Excuse me, can I kindly finish?
But it didn't prove deterrent.
Excuse me,
it's your turn to speak. Please do not speak over somebody else.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. We will come to you, Irfan Hafiz, and you will get your due time to speak. Do not speak over Major General
I am
GD.
very sorry, Navika.
You can make your point when we come to you.
Excuse
I'm
me.
sorry, this is absolutely unacceptable.
Madam, can you kindly get this man to shut up?
Let Major General GD Bakshi
why is he
complete
fucking
his
in
point.
between?
We know what
Irfan
it is.
Hafiz
Okay.
Loan, please
As I was
allow Major
saying,
General
that
GD Bakshi
the
to
kind
make his
of-
point and then we'll come to you.
Oh ho! For
He will never,
as I
go.
was
He's a
saying,
soldier, but he will
Navika,
never
the
feel
fact
pain.
of the
Talking
matter
in
is
stern
that was
and
not-
firm
Will you
language
please
with
beg your
Pakistan
tongue?
is not warmongering.
He
Irfan
always-
Hafiz Loan talking in firm and stern manner to
Navika,
Pakistan is
Navika,
not warmongering.
Navika.
Let GD Bakshi make his point.
Bloodshed. We want a solution. Our heart bleeds for these.
What is the solution that Pakistan is offering you?
Just 1 second.
Irfan Hafiz Loan, what is the solution that Pakistan is offering you in the first place?
Mr. Loan.
Policy of trying
Hello,
to
Mr. Loan,
apply
look here.
salve and not trying to push Pakistan beyond
No.
the point.
Yes.
I don't think that was called for. We have brought it
Yeah,
upon
Major General
ourselves.
GD Bakshi, you make
We
your point
need
first.
to hit back
we will
and
go
hit
back to
hard.
Yeah.
We cannot
Major
follow
Gaurav Arya wants to come in as well.
We cannot follow a policy of equivalence. We cannot follow a policy of
Of course.
equivalence that if he has opened with small arms and mortars, we will confine ourselves to that. From the year of the Lord 2000 to 2003, we had fought an artillery war on the line of control. We had used Bofors
Also,
and
Major
multi-barrel
General,
rocket
what
launchers.
happened?
It had
One
hurt
second, Major
Pakistan
General
so
GD
much
Bakshi.
that in November
Major General GD
2003,
Bakshi.
they had asked for a
Before we go
ceasefire.
across to Irfan
And
Hafiz
that
Loan,
ceasefire held
before
for
we go-
13 years.
Before we go across to
Because
Irfan
you will
Hafiz
have
Loan,
to punish
you know the
them
point that you said.
adequately. And it is people like
Yeah,
this
he-
lone character who
Exactly.
have been trying to shield Pakistan.
Yeah. No, Irfan Hafiz Loan, I think I take extremely
Nobody is
huge
shielding
objection to
Pakistan.
you calling one of our
Withdraw your
someone
vote.
who wants
I'm a
bloodshed,
nationalist.
calling them
I'm
a warmonger.
I'm a
I'm
peace
sorry, but
lover.
we will not accept.
You're the warmonger.
No, if you're a peace lover, please
It
do not
doesn't
use
show you.
words like warmonger for other panelists. I am sorry, this is absolutely unacceptable. And when
Madam,
you
those
talk
who
of
are-
bloodshed and
those
you're
who are
accusing other
advocating war,
panelists
they are
of
the
wanting
warmongers.
bloodshed, can you please tell
But
me?
they are not advocating
is
war.
Pakistan not a warmonger? Is Pakistan not wanting bloodshed? What about all those civilians who have been killed in Kashmir in just the last 2 months?
Our country-
Should I start naming the
our-
children,
madam,
the teenagers,
country-
the 5-year-old, the
Madam,
7-year-old
this man
who have
is
been
holding
killed
the
because
wrong
of Pakistan's
passport.
ceasefire violations? Who wants the war?
Well
Who
said,
wants
sir,
the
well said.
bloodshed over here?
Madam,
Major
Madam, our
Gaurav
country
Arya,
is
please.
largest
Irfan Hafiz,
No.
we're coming to you.
This
Don't compare.
man
I
is
think-
holding the
Don't
wrong
compare.
passport.
Does a democracy mean
He
we
should
just
go
sit
and
there
join
like sitting ducks and
his
let Pakistan
compatriots
kill
on
our
the other
people
side?
and martyr our soldiers and kill our children? Being a
India
democracy
and
means just
Pakistan
sitting like a
was one
sitting duck.
family. India and Pakistan was one family, and
Oh,
India
please
is
don't talk
Jakarta.
about family when
India
there's
is
Don't say we are not
Jakarta.
interested in being
world
part
are
of the
you
Pakistan
living
family.
in? Irfan Hafiz Loan.
Nobody is interested in being part of the Pakistan
Loan,
family.
which
Forget the
world
past
are you
tense.
living?
No, I will tell you
Irfan
something. I
Hafiz
need to come in here,
Loan,
please.
which
Just
world
1
are you
second.
living? On
Okay.
We will not have you
November 1,
shouting
on November
in
1, a
support of
single
those-
day.
in support of those criminals.
Mr. Loan, on a
Loan, you
single
need to
day on
understand one thing.
November 1,
Peaceful dialogue.
8
You
civilians,
never- you
including a
never-
5-year-old Abhi Rishabh,
Unfortunate.
a 7-year-old child Ravinder Kaur, and a 19-year-old were killed on a single day. 8 civilians were killed by Pakistan. Which world are you living in that India and Pakistan are one?
Unfortunately, we condemn
What
it.
about
We
the
condemn
terrorists
it.
that
Strongly
Pakistan
condemn
sends into India every single day? What about the
Sir, what are you-
186 ceasefire violations since September 29 since the surgical strikes took place? Which world are you living in, Irfan Hafiz Loan, that you're saying India and Pakistan are one?
Madam, I am not
Gaurav
justifying
Arya
their
wants to
action.
come.
Yeah,
I am not
Mr. Loan, just hold on.
justifying
No, no,
their
no.
action.
You're
We should
saying
condemn
you're saying
They
that
are violating
just hold on,
human
Mr.
rights.
Loan.
We should condemn
You're
them.
saying that you strongly
Yes,
condemn.
yes.
What are you going to do with your condemnation?
Yeah.
Pakistanis are killing our soldiers. We need to kill them. And when you speak to a person of the stature of Major General GD Bakshi, kindly do so with respect. What kind of words are you using? Do you know whom you're speaking with?
I have a
What kind of words are
tremendous
you
respect
using?
for
He's a
him. Don't
warmonger.
teach me. Don't
No,
teach
you
me.
don't have any
Don't teach
respect.
me.
No,
Don't teach me.
You need to be taught. And
Don't
Major
teach
General
me.
GD Bakshi is right. You're holding the wrong passport. You're a traitor. ये पता नहीं कहाँ गद्दारों की फौज यहाँ पे इकट्ठा कर रखी है. Talking about
Irfan
one family,
Hafiz
Pakistan may be your
Withdraw
family,
your
it's not my
votes,
family.
sister. Withdraw your votes. Withdraw your votes. Don't say like this. For you.
You are a traitor. आप गद्दार
I'm
हैं.
the worst victim.
आपके पास पाकिस्तानी
you know nothing
पासपोर्ट
about
होना
that.
चाहिए. आप पाकिस्तानी हैं और आप पाकिस्तान जाइए.
Okay.
और जब आप जनरल साहब से बात करें तो आप तमीज से बात करें.
Irfan
ठीक है?
Hafiz Loan, okay,
people like you are very
maintain-
handful people, mister. You are handful. People like you are very handful and you are irrelevant people. You are just you want your TRP and
But
that's
some
why
would
you are
say
saying
Irfan
such a
Hafiz
thing.
I wish
Your
you had met
views
me
are
in Kashmir in 1998. I would have shown you handful.
Irfan Hafiz Loan, many would say it's people like you who carry
Madam,
these
what
views that
nonsense
India
he
and
is speaking?
Pakistan were once.
What
That
nonsense
view
he
is
is-
What
irrelevant
nonsense are you
today.
speaking?
Very
We have
nonsense.
lost
Your views
soldiers.
are
We have lost
irrelevant
soldiers, and
today.
you want to say Pakistan is
Our
your family?
soldiers are dying.
Is Pakistan
our
your family?
civilians are dying.
No, no,
Our
whose
civilians
family are you talking
dying,
about?
our soldiers
We are losing
dying.
our
And
brothers.
you're
Trying to
talking-
say,
You are saying nothing.
Madam, what I said,
But it may-
I said that my heart
Yeah.
bleeds for this soldier. My heart
No,
bleeds
one
for
second.
this
We don't
soldier.
want your
And
heart
this
to
man
bleed.
is
We
saying
want
me
the
to bleed.
Pakistanis to bleed.
One second,
Who is
Major,
he to say me?
Major Gaurav Arya,
It's a
coming back
secular
to you. You know, Irfan
It's
Hafiz
a secular
Loan.
country.
Can we?
As a student at law,
yeah.
I would like to apply him.
Secular has
I would
absolutely
like
nothing to do
apply
with what
him.
we're
It's a
discussing
secular
here.
country.
I'm
That
sorry,
is the basic
I'm
section
sorry,
of my
but secularism
constitution.
has nothing to do
Because
with what you're discussing here. In fact, you're insulting secularism by bringing it up here
Because
because it
he's
has
saying
absolutely
me,
nothing to do with what we're discussing here. No,
being
I'm
a
sorry.
member of
You need to
minority
bring-
community,
I'm sorry,
being a
sir,
member
you
of
need to
minority
bring your
community, he is
responses
telling
back
me
on
to go
track.
to Pakistan.
You need
What
to bring your
nonsense he is
responses
saying.
back
No.
on track with the debate. Only then
Sir,
we will
एक
come
minute.
back to you. One second.
This has altered.
Gaurav, one
I mean,
second.
he said something. I need to come here. Please, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
we-
sorry. I need to answer this.
Onto your
Mr.
right.
Loan, this has
Because
nothing to
look
do with
towards
any
your right.
minority or majority community.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
No,
Please
it
don't say
doesn't.
this. I belong.
Irfan
I am
Hafiz
part of the
Loan,
Indian
this
Army. We
has
are an
nothing to
absolutely
do with
secular organization.
minority or
Do not say
majority
words like this.
community. This
Do
has
not say
nothing
words.
to do
I
with
have
religion.
postmates. I have
This
lost
is-
brothers who are Muslim, who are Christians in
Yeah.
Kashmir.
You know, we're
I've
not
lost my
right.
brothers.
We're not going
Don't
down
say
that
this.
I
road.
need no
We are not.
certificate
Not
from you,
going that
mister.
road.
I need
No.
no certificate.
Okay, please.
You are too small a
Let's get
person
Navid
to
on
issue
it.
a certificate
Let's
of
get Navid on
nationalism,
it.
of patriotism.
Let's get
Let's
Navid.
get
You're the
down to the
anti-national.
point.
Yeah, let's-
You're the
I'm
anti-national.
going to get Navid.
You're
Oh,
breaking the
come on.
country.
I'm
You're
sorry,
breaking
we
the
are done
country.
now.
Go to
You're
Pakistan.
the
We are
anti-national.
done.
Go to Pakistan.
Yeah. Navid Hamid,
I'm coming to you,
because,
need to
you
go
know,
to Pakistan.
we need to get this
Kindly.
debate back on track and discuss what we were discussing. It's absolutely gone into ludicrous realm. I don't want it to go there. Navid Hamid, thank you for joining us. We had introduced you earlier, but you joined us a couple of minutes later. Now, the question we are asking right now, and it's really shocking to see the kind of response that we've just got from Irfan Hafiz Loan. We know what Pakistan has been doing. We know what the Pakistan army has been doing. They have been providing active cover fire for terrorists. Terrorists are infiltrating across the border. They are killing our jawans. The Pakistani shelling is killing our civilians. There are deaths every single day. Ceasefire violations have gone up in the last, 2 months or so. What we are asking tonight is, why would anyone feel that there is any reason to engage with Pakistan on any diplomatic or political level at all after what has happened?
You know, what happened today is most condemnable. And we should understand that Pakistan army is a nation in itself. The people who can't differentiate between army and a civilian role in Pakistan, they need to understand that army has an absolute power and civilian government has no powers over there. Whatever army decides, dictates, civilian administration do that, number one. Number two, the whole problem is with the Pakistan army. India is fighting a continuous battle with Pakistan army. Whether we are...
Therefore, any engagement with the government, therefore it has yielded nothing.
Let me submit. Let me submit.
Yeah.
There is a history that whatever the weak administration Pakistan government have, whenever India, even during Vajpayee tenure, we have in Kargil. Why we have in Kargil? Because of the Pakistani army. Everybody knows that. But we can't further weaken the democratic forces in Pakistan. That is
Also,
the
the onus of carrying on a dialogue with Pakistan is because we should strengthen their democratic process. Isn't that a completely ridiculous, explanation on why we should engage with Pakistan? Because we must strengthen their political, democratic process. Is that the reason why we should actually have civilians dying here, Jawans dying here, so that we can actually strengthen their political process and their democratic process? Is that your suggestion?
Not absolutely not. But in the larger interest of India, we need to corner Pakistan army at the international level and
Okay, how do we do that? How do we do that? Because we never engage with the Pakistani army when we go for dialogues. Our diplomats, our bureaucrats meet the political establishment and their bureaucracy and their diplomats.
Do you think that overwhelming majority of Pakistani civilian population supports army?
No, but that's not the point.
No.
That's not the point though. See, I'll tell you, and I'd like to get Major General G.D. Bakshi in on this, and the same question to you also, Professor Chenoy, in a minute. Now, what I'm asking based on what you've said is, coming to you also, Maruf. The point is, when has any sort of effort from our part actually resulted in or yielded any results? Let's talk about the Prime Minister's stopover in Lahore, which was immediately within a few days followed up by a terror attack. Let's talk about the handshake that happened perhaps on the sidelines of the climate summit. Let's talk about any sort of engagement that has been attempted from the Indian side. I want to know, what has it yielded? Has it yielded anything? No, we've seen only bloodshed. Major General G.D. Bakshi.
This country seems to suffer from an amazing bout of collective amnesia when it comes to the countless peace efforts that we have made, countless outreach that we have made towards the Pakistani civilian dispensation in the pious hope that possibly, they would be more reasonable. They pretend to be reasonable, but every time that we made an outreach, we found that within days, the Pakistani army, the Pakistani deep state military ISI complex retaliated with either a Pathankot, either an Uri, either a Machel, and now to further inflame public opinion in this country, they have started, mauling, our dead bodies of our brave soldiers. We had 93,000 Pakistani prisoners. We could have easily done the same to a whole lot of them who were war criminals of Bangladesh, whom Bangladesh wanted to put on trial. We gave them all back decently. We've had Pakistani dead bodies which we gave back. They refused to take them back. And then we granted them decent burials, because in the military lore, the world over, you respect a man who has died for his country. Right? Whichever country he belongs to, he's died. Now trying to commit atrocities on that dead body, trying to disfigure it horribly. This is only something which the Pakistan army has been consistently doing. In every war, Navika in the 71 war, when we joined as second lieutenants, we had Mahendra Pal Singh Chaudhary, second lieutenant, whose both eyes were gouged out. His eyeball was hanging by his optic nerve on his cheek, and it had been smashed with rifle butts. His body had been burnt with cigarette butts. Is this normal human behavior? This army has to be taught a lesson.
Absolutely not.
You have to identify the units
because it's not a professional army. It's almost a ruffian, a rogue army that we are dealing with. We are dealing with a rogue and a ruffian army, Major General G.D. Bakshi, and let me take that question to Kamal Mitra Chenoy. That's the whole question that we are asking. That can you continue with business as usual conversations and dialogue and engagement with Pakistan? It would mean, can we go to international fora where we give Pakistan an audience when they don't deserve an audience? We'll give them a platform where they go and give their own denials, which they have been given over the years. Does it also mean that Pakistan should be given a legitimacy as a state worthy of being engaged with despite its action? I mean, should we actually give Pakistan that kind of importance at all on the world stage, or should we now talk about other measures at this point, like retribution, the army, the language that the army has talked about?
Well, I'd like to continue Bakshi's point about engagement in 1971, where 3 million of their own citizens East Pakistanis were butchered by the Pakistan army. And as Major General Bakshi said, 93,000 soldiers were returned to Pakistan, and a Shimla Accord was signed with Pakistan. Now, I don't see how much more engagement you can do than that. So, for this, it is clear that I hate to use this term, but there will have to be, the voice and the stick.
Absolutely.
And until the army finds that it is a cost to do this, and they're isolated, this will continue. I mean, for example, the Prime Minister goes out of his way to visit Nawaz Sharif's family wedding in Lahore, and then within days there's an attack.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So therefore, I think they must be exposed. We must do an international campaign and force them through the United Nations and other bodies to engage on terms of human rights and the actual relationship between states who are not at a war.
Well, absolutely.
Pakistan is behaving like there is war.
Yes, international isolation and pressure is needed on Pakistan. Now, Irfan Hafiz Loan, I'm going to try coming back to you. I will request you to please have the courtesy to listen to the question and then respond in an appropriate manner. I'll ask you a series of questions and then you will get your adequate time to respond. So there is absolutely no need to start shouting. I'm just telling you that in advance. Now, you want engagement with Pakistan. How is engagement a solution to brutality and repeated betrayal? We've already talked about some of the betrayals. Professor Chenoy also just talked about what happened immediately after our Prime Minister's stop in Lahore. Now, the fact that the Pakistan army is actively helping terrorists sneak into India, they are martyring our soldiers, they are killing our civilians, all of these are documented facts, as you know. How in this scenario can you say that we need to continue having any sort of engagement with Pakistan? To what effect? For what purpose? Has there been any indication in the past that this will serve any purpose? Irfan Hafiz Loan.
Madam, Madam, as far as government of the day stated position is concerned, they believe that, can you hear me?
Yes,
Madam, can you hear me?
Go on.
Yes.
We can hear you. Go on,
Yes.
Irfan Hafiz.
Madam, as far as the government stated position is concerned, they believe that the solution to the problem is Shimla Agreement. They believe that this is the piece of agreement on which the government of India realized that this can be a solution to the problem.
They buried the Shimla.
Madam, they should not, even if my views, just hold for a while, even if I'm speaking something rubbish, but I'm entitled for my views. If it goes against your stated position, but you have to bear with me. Madam, this is the Shimla Agreement, which provides that both countries will respect the line of control. This is the Shimla Agreement which provides that there should be a solution, political solution to Kashmir problem. And both countries should make sincere efforts.
Mr. Loan, army,
Madam, I am coming to the
Pakistani
point.
army, Mr.
Madam,
Loan, Pakistani army, Pakistani army.
Sir, I am saying that we fought the war.
Why Pakistani army?
Madam, they are not allowing me. Madam, please.
Why they are killing our forces?
Madam, I heard them.
Why they are killing our forces?
Mr. Loan,
That's what I am saying. That's what I am saying.
When did the Pakistanis ever honor the Shimla Agreement at all? Since September 29, since the surgical strikes, we are talking about
Madam, just one line. Just one line. In Jammu and Kashmir, Madam, please don't speak over me. Madam, you are not fair. Madam, you are not fair. Just give me 1 minute.
Where are you looking for a solution?
I have a specific question, Mr. Do you support Pakistani army or you condemn Pakistani army?
Madam, I am
That
saying,
is the question.
Madam, I am saying just hold for a while. You are anti-national. You people are anti-national. You people are anti-national.
It's absolutely
Yes.
shocking.
How can you make such a statement? How can you make such a statement?
You are anti-national.
How we can be
You are anti-national.
This is
This is a document. This is a document on which the government of the day relies.
Naved Hamid has
Please
asked you
do
a
not
pointed question.
degenerate
He's asked
this
you a
debate.
question, are you supporting
No, no.
or condemning
Ah.
the Pakistan army? How can that question be anti-national?
Rubbish, this is
How
rubbish.
can that question
I
be
condemn,
anti-national?
I
Why don't
condemn,
you make a
I
point?
condemn
Do
the
you-
brazen violations. I condemn the brazen violations, be it from this side, be it from that side. I condemn it. But I say, in the same breath, I say that this is a document which is incumbent upon the both governments that they should respect the LOC. Our government of the India should take this document forward.
I'm sorry, but
and
Irfan
tell
Hafiz Loan-
Pakistan, see, you are
Irfan
signatory
Hafiz
to
Loan,
this document.
It is Pakistan
Don't
that has
violate
never
this LOC.
respected.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry. It is Pakistan that has never respected the written word in that document that you're trying to show us. And
Had
today,
our
Naved Hamid.
But madam, this is a government's foreign policies. Madam,
People like
government
you,
is foreign
people like
policies
you.
banted on this
Mr.
document.
Kashmir.
On this
Mr.
document.
People like you are problem for Kashmir.
Mr. Lone, you are talking on a day when an Indian
Oh.
soldier's body has been mutilated by the Pakistan army troops. That is the day that you are talking
We
about.
condemn
the
it.
agreement.
But madam, my heart bleeds for this soldier, honestly saying.
On the day
my
an
hand
Indian
on my heart,
soldier's
my heart
body has
bleeds
been
for this man.
mutilated, you want to remind
We
people about the
every day-
Shimla agreement?
Madam, whenever there is a loss of precious lives, our fellow human beings are being victim of atrocities. My heart bleeds, and I hope you will also join me. But the
Irfan-
question is
Irfan
how to
Hafiz
put
Loan,
hand to
you know-
this.
Where does
Yes, ma'am.
similar agreements come
firstly-
here?
Madam, this
Where does similar agreements come here,
Yeah,
Mr. Loan?
this 1 second. This has
Where
nothing
does
to
the
do.
Shimla agreements come?
This has
Yes,
nothing
yes,
to do, in
because-
fact, with the Shimla
because
agreement right
Pakistan
now.
is violating LOC.
Since you're saying,
Pakistan is
since you're
violating
saying
In
LOC.
Irfan
response to
Hafiz
that,
Loan,
Pakistan
we have to
is
hear
violating
lectures from the likes of Irfan Habib.
You condemn the Pakistan army and you're condemning the bloodshed. I asked you what Gaurav Arya asked you a few minutes back, which you didn't respond to. What good is this condemnation? What good has any lip service done to us over the years, over the last few months? Navika just talked about the 200
So, madam, what is the solution?
violations
What is the
that have
solution?
happened since the surgical
Both
strike.
countries are nuclear
Condemnation
power.
is
Are we
certainly
alive
not
of
the
this
solution.
fact
That's
that both
exactly the
countries
point we are
are nuclear
asking you.
power?
That's
I'll
the
tell you
point
what
we
the
are
solution, I'll
asking you.
just-
We are
Irfan
both
Loan.
countries
We
are
have
nuclear
been
power.
held
What is the
hostage
solution?
Okay.
by
The
Pakistan.
I'll tell you the solution.
Tina, can I please
the
come in?
civilian government
Mr.
is
Didi,
not
Tina, can I please
Yeah.
come in?
ISI is not
Both
people we
suggested
speak
the
to.
surgical
How can we
strike.
find a solution is
We
the
did it.
exact
What
question
is
that
the
we are
outcome?
asking you.
Yeah, okay. So let me get Gaurav Arya and GD Bakshi.
So,
They both want to come in on
one
this very
surgical
quickly.
strike,
Major Gaurav
that's
Arya
it?
first. Coming to you, General GD Bakshi. Gaurav Arya.
First of all, Lone Saab, you said your heart bleeds for the death of the soldiers, the martyrdom of the soldiers. Thank you, sir. I don't want your heart to bleed. I want Pakistani blood. They should bleed. That is number one. Number two, too many of our brothers
Who are
have been
you?
killed
Who
on the
are
line
you
of
to issue
control.
such case?
Enough.
You are too small a person. Don't say like this. Don't break this country.
What
I don't
kind
know
of
why they bring
statement is
people
that?
like you on
What
this.
is
Who are all out to
एक
break
मिनट,
this
I'll just-
country.
मैं इनका बता दूं,
Gaurav
just hold on.
Arya was in the army.
You're
and I
here
hope
to break the
you
country.
have- I think you need to have some respect for those who have served in the Indian army, and I hope you will take your words back and apologize to Gaurav Arya because he represents the
Madam,
Indian army.
this man
He
left
served
the
for
Indian army
He's-
and decided to be on the screen.
Well,
So you have three
That
other
I
people
think
who
this
have
is getting a
Indian
bit
army.
too personal.
this is ridiculous.
And downright ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That's his
I
bloody
will not
choice.
allow this at all.
You mind your
It
business,
is
all
his
right?
choice. You
This is
are
the
questioning him for
ground
being on the
reality.
same screen on which
You
you are
they
also
don't
sitting here
respect
tonight,
our
by the way.
sentiments.
I will tell you what the ground reality
This
is.
is ridiculous.
Gaurav.
We are proud
Okay.
to have him here with us.
Okay,
in the
I
studio.
want to tell you
Okay?
this. Okay.
Gaurav, you should not defend
Yeah,
yourself.
let's not even
Let other people defend yourself.
Madam, I
Gaurav,
don't like
no,
no,
it is- it is-
Gaurav,
I
we are
don't
proud
like
of
father.
anybody who has
Like
served
other my-
for a
my
single
fellow
day in
citizens.
the Indian army. We are proud of a
Major
countryman who
Gaurav
may have
Arya
served for a
is
single
a salt
day
of
in
the
Indian
earth,
army.
brave
Do
soldier.
not point fingers
All
at
right?
Major Gaurav
And we would like
Arya.
you to stick
We are
your nose
proud to have him as
clear
a
out of his personal business.
Major General GD Bakshi.
So he should remind.
May I
Can-
please?
Can I, Navika,
Yes.
Navika, Tina,
Yes,
can I kindly?
yes, Major General G.D. Bakshi, go on, and after that I'm coming to you, Maruf.
Navika, okay, Navika, as I was saying, the pity is, the pathos of the whole thing is doubly accentuated by the fact that there is the Pakistani army chief who wants to hang on to his chair. In the last 20 years, no Pakistani army chief has gone home at the stipulated time. General Rahil Sharif has been making the very clucking noises about retiring and going on farewell visits. His actions speak to the contrary. Just for the sake of an extension of 3 years, he is prepared to take 2 countries to war. He is prepared to condone barbaric, indisciplined and irrational behavior on the part of his troops. He is encouraging, the practice of barbarism on dead bodies of soldiers who have done their duty. This man, just because he wants to hang on, just because the Collegium of Corps Commanders has got his chari of letting him hang on and steal all the limelight, it is this man, Navika, who is instigating this entire escalation. The logic is so simple. If there is an escalation on the border, there will be an outcry for this man to continue. Already General Musharraf is saying there should be no change of command. For the sake of his extension of another 3 years, he is quite prepared to get the 2 countries to the brink of war. He is quite safe and well and far behind. And I'm very sorry that he has the likes of Irfan Harfi's loan to plead his case and to tell
don't
us,
say like this,
forget
withdraw
about
your
all
words.
the backstabbing
Don't
you got.
withdraw your words.
Get one
I
more
will respect
backstab.
you, but don't say like this.
Get one more stab in the back. What for? What for? I think it's about time
Because
to call
you're issuing
Pakistan's nuclear
irresponsible
bluff has
statements.
already been caused.
These
You thought that we
are
would
not
just stop
happening
at one
just today.
surgical strike?
They are
Why should
happening
we?
since 1947.
We will stop
I don't
only
know
when
why
Pakistan
you are being called as
stops.
the expert. You are forgetting. It's not happening today. We are witnessing
I am
it.
being
It's
called
wrong.
as an expert,
Why you are
my
confining
friend,
it to a
because I spent
particular journal?
37
Why are you
years in
confining this
uniform
to a particular
doing
journal?
the job that my country asked me to do. All right? If you can't
It's not
respect that,
confined
you
to
need
this
to keep
journal.
quiet.
It's their foreign policy.
Silence would suit you better.
Madam, why he is making irresponsible
Foreign policy?
statements? Why is saying
A
that
man
journal
being
is
slaughtered,
privilege?
a
Why
man's
is
body
saying like
being
this?
mutilated
Just-
is foreign policy.
Irfan Lone, he has just made a point, and let me get in Maruf Raza on the point made by Major General G.D. Bakshi. Maruf Raza, the 2 questions that I need to ask you. One, the point made by Naved Hamid, where he said that we need to protect the democratic process in Pakistan. Now, is it India's responsibility to somehow protect the democratic process in Pakistan, and therefore we should continue to engage with Pakistan? Question number 1. Question number 2, the point raised by Major General G.D. Bakshi, the point about Rahil Sharif. Is this a deliberate attempt by the Pakistani army to try and push India and Pakistan to the brink of war? Because that then creates the personal motivation that Rahil Sharif has to create a situation where he gets an extension. His commercial interests are looked after. It's the Pakistan army generals who have all the money, the power, and the entire civilian population virtually supporting them. Are these issues that Pakistan also needs to look at very closely, and we need to look at very closely when we are looking at our next step with Pakistan?
Well, thank you, Navika. Actually, I've been listening to some of the interjections by people with some amusement, because they quite clearly don't have a deeper understanding of the history of India-Pakistan relations. The first point is your question that, and I would like to answer your second question first, which General Bakshi labored on. The fact is that there is a history of the Pakistan army when they want the narrative to go in the favor of whatever issue they think which is dear to them. At this point of time, General Rahil Sharif is reeling under the impact of the embarrassment of the surgical strikes. He wants to go away either in retirement on a hurrah or at least get an extension. If you remember the 26/11 attacks, one of the purposes of the attacks on Mumbai was to get India to mobilize completely so that Pakistan would not have to pull out troops from the Indo-Pak border and commit them to fighting the Taliban, which they had nurtured for so many years, which the Americans were asking them to fight. Their battle against the Taliban is a separate story, but it was always a half-hearted battle. Eventually, they came to an agreement. There are some good Taliban and bad Taliban, but that's a separate issue. The second point to understand is there is a large constituency of policymakers in Delhi, particularly amongst the civilian elite, and they make the policy, who have always held this belief that Pakistan's democratic credentials can only be strengthened by India engaging with the civilian elite. Let me remind the people in India that this is a delusionary view, because if you look back recently at events in Turkey, where the military had a strong tradition of intervening in politics, when they decided to intervene this time, the people beat them back into the barracks. There have been no instance in Pakistan's history where the people have opposed military's predominant role in Pakistan politics. Every coup has been welcomed by the people of Pakistan. Now I will go to the point raised by Mr. Lone. Two issues he raised, and I was sitting quietly to answer them. One is the Shimla Agreement and the importance of the line of control. Yes, the Shimla Agreement did sanctify the line of control, but Pakistan has repeatedly tried to challenge the sanctity of the line of control. It did this in the Siachen conflict because it wanted to go beyond the line of control. It met with a bloody nose on the ice of Siachen. It tried to do that in Kargil when they wanted to challenge. The Americans said, we respect the line of control, you will respect the line of control. They're again trying to rig up tensions out there. So the line of control is something which Pakistan's army will never accept until they are completely destroyed and disseminated. And as far as Mr. Lone's point that, Muslims, and we are trying to create anti-Muslim sentiment on this debate, I disagree with him. I have never been told by anybody in this country that I am not Indian. I am as much a Muslim as he is. But I've never been told, because my loyalty is very clearly lie with India.
Then
I suspect those who bring up this issue where their loyalties are.
Sir.
They have to look into the mirror and answer the question.
Why this major told me to go to Pakistan?
Sir, whether you go to Pakistan. No, but the fact is, you are saying that the people who are challenging the sympathy that some people have for Pakistan are not
Yes.
making you feel in an anti-national manner. I don't think that's true. You have to be very clear where your loyalties lie. Answer this question.
Exactly.
Are you an Indian or a Pakistani? And don't give me the that you are a Kashmiri. You are either Indian or Pakistani. There is no nationality like Kashmiri. Tell me, what are you?
That's right. And when you're
Well
talking
said, sir.
about being an Indian or a Pakistani, you have to decide. Today, an Indian soldier's body has been mutilated. So, Mr. Irfan Lone, you need to take a position. Are you an Indian and condemn the Pakistani army for doing what they did to our soldier? Or are you a Pakistani where your heart bleeds for soldiers on either side? That's not a position that you can take.
Just hold for a while. Just hold for a while. I think no such
Mr. Lone,
mandate
I would request you not to bring religion in this debate.
Let him answer the question.
It is absolutely absurd.
Let him answer the question.
It is absolutely absurd when you bring religion in this debate.
Yeah, so we are not going there. Now,
this is about India and Pakistan.
You have been asked a straight up question by Maruf Raza. I'd like you to answer the question. I'd like you to answer the question. Do you sit here tonight and say unequivocally that you are Indian?
What about Insha, who was
I'm not asking you about human rights violations. I'm asking you to answer Maruf's question. Irfan Hafiz Lone, answer Maruf Raza's question. Are you an Indian? Can you say that unequivocally, I am Indian?
I am not. Who are they to ask me? Who are they to ask me to prove my nationality?
Why don't you answer the question? Why does it bother you so much to answer this question?
No.
Madam,
It's a simple
I'm just asking you a simple question. I'm just asking you a question.
It's a simple question.
You don't
Irfan
want to
Hafiz
answer,
Lone.
don't answer,
There is
but
no
give me an
need for
answer if you
debate
can.
on it.
No,
It's
who
a
are
simple,
you? Who are you
straightforward
to ask
question,
me this
Mr.
question?
Lone.
I love my country. I love my country.
And who are you to
I have made
bring
huge
religion in this
sacrifices
debate?
for
Who are
my
you?
country.
What is
Who
your
are you
country?
to bring religion in
Which
this
is your country? What is your nationality?
Which is
Only
your
I am
country,
saying
Mr. Lone?
Resolve Kashmir. Resolve Kashmir. And people like me are very handful who love India. Very handful.
No, you
people
think
On a day,
who believe
Mr. Lone, on a day we are discussing the brutality against an Indian soldier. You are talking about Kashmir.
You are hurting.
You are talking about Kashmir.
You are misconceived.
Mr. Lone, on a day
look,
an Indian soldier's body has been
Navika,
brutally
Tina.
mutilated by the Pakistani army. The question of Kashmir doesn't come in. We are discussing the atrocity of the Pakistan army on an Indian soldier. On such a day, does your heart bleed for that Indian soldier who laid down his life so that you in Kashmir and we in the rest of India also can live? That's the question that you need to answer. Are you an Indian is a simple question that Maruf Raza asked you. Okay, so reply to that.
Madam, I said and I repeat, all I'm trying to say that we fought 3 wars, there was a brazen violation, and I'm not saying it. Government of India, Vajpayee ji said, on 10th August 2016, Parliament said that there were huge blood was shed. It is only because of Kashmir problem. So simply, I am subscribed to the viewpoint of my Prime Minister.
Irfan Hafiz Loan, before I go back to my other panelists. Coming to you. Irfan Hafiz Loan, I just want to make one thing absolutely clear to you. Every single person on this debate tonight and watching and in the country wants peace to return to Kashmir. You're not the only one. You don't get to say that you're the only champion of the Kashmir cause, because every single one of us wants the bloodshed to stop. We want peace in Kashmir. We want normalcy back in Kashmir. Okay, so we are all on absolutely the same page when it comes to that. But that is a separate issue from what we are asking you about tonight and what we are asking our panelists tonight. Now, we are saying, in light of the brutality, in light of the mutilation, in light of the constant backstabbing and betrayals from Pakistan, why is there any reason to believe that we can gain something from engaging with them? Professor Chenoy, coming to you, with the fact that India has in fact managed to get global attention on a very large scale as to what really is going on with Pakistan. You know, with the stand that India took with the SAARC summit at Islamabad, which did not take place, not only did India take a strong stand after the Uri attacks, but 5 other nations also pulled out as a result of that. Terrorism in Pakistan were discussed at the UNGA. We've seen countries like America, France, Russia come out and make very specific statements condemning Pakistan for being a safe haven for terrorists. Now, at a time like this, when the world is in fact converging onto the same opinion, which is that Pakistan is a rogue terror state, now why should we even think of any other kind of engagement with them?
No, I want to make one clarification. This argument about democratizing the Pakistani institutions. Now, a large number of us who are peace activists were going to Pakistan until about 6 years ago. But Pakistani peace activists are given visas by the Indian government to this day. So how is it possible to democratize in Pakistan through Indian peace activists when the government is not at a center? You know, so we should not have illusions about the extent to which we can affect the Pakistan state. The second thing is that I think we have to now be very clear that this government, it's not only Shimla, the idea of the military is to show their people that they can beat us in military tactics. And that is why terrorism, and that is why LOC, and that is why denial of the surgical strike. So I think we have to go to the international community with our evidence and show, after all, the LOC is a recognized line, how they're violating this, how they're sending terrorists in, how they're mutilating
this is a very
people,
valid point.
and in clear violation of the Geneva Convention and other laws. So therefore, we should now go on the offensive.
Very valid point.
In this,
One
not
is on
only
the world
retribution.
capacity and one is on the military level. Major General J.D. Bakshi, so there's 2 points that have been brought up here. One, of course, is the diplomatic level, which is on the World Forum. And the second one that I think he was trying to say is that there has to be a response, and a befitting one, on the military level. And nothing less than that is really going to yield any results.
You know, Navika, Einstein once said, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is a sign of insanity. When have we not tried to make peace with Pakistan? How many outreaches has our political leadership made to the civilian dispensation in Pakistan? With what result? I ask you, Navika, I ask you, Tina, with what result? Each time we have been stabbed in the back. What are you asking us to swallow? The mutilation of our boys? What are we supposed to lump in this quest for peace? How far can we bend? How low can we bend? You see, the fact of the matter is that when Prime Minister Modi took over, I think he went the extra mile to make an outreach to the Pakistani civilian dispensation. And all we got were a series of quick backstabs, each worse than the other. You want to try more of the same? That would, as Einstein said, be insanity. So you have to change course. You have to raise costs for that rogue army in Pakistan. For once, I fully agree with Kamal Mitra Chinoy. You have to raise costs for this army in a manner which truly hurts. Just a one-off surgical strike is not the answer. That strike was to send a message, look, buddy, the sanctity of this line of control is over. If you think you can cross it wherever you want, hit us and go back, and we will just keep lumping it, is finito. We will now hit back and across the border, and each time you do it, you will be paid back in the same coin. And now what we have realized is, it's not the same coin which will work. You will have to escalate vertically and raise the degree, the threshold of pain which makes Pakistan desist from what it is doing. Now the fact is, you know,
That's
the
right.
Pakistani civilian establishment is actually on the same page with the Pakistan army. They have always exploited our sentiment to try and wreak concessions out of us. Bhutto, when he came in 71, you know what he told Madam Gandhi? Mujhe zara waqt dijiye aur main sab theek kar dunga. He took his prisoners,
That's right,
went
Major
back
General
laughing.
G.D. Bakshi. You're
Went
right
back
about
laughing.
one thing, and that's really the spirit of the entire
May I
debate
please?
that we've had today, that it is time to actually do something that
May I
hurts
please?
Pakistan, because so far the entire issue of engaging with Pakistan hasn't yielded any
Navika,
results,
can I
as you
just-
pointed out. Yes, Maruf. I'll allow you to make the last point before
May I
I
please,
wrap up
Navika,
this
one
debate.
point?
Yes, Maruf.
Okay. Okay, Navika, a lot of very good points have been made, ranging from Mr. Chenoy's points about, you know, putting the evidence out to the world, and General Bakshi's very detailed analysis of how we can deal with Pakistan. But there are two quick issues that I want to bring out. One is the fact that, you see, there is an element of warfare which is called psychological warfare. And we must adopt that simultaneously, like when we are giving them retribution for these attacks across the LOC. And the best way to achieve a psychological advantage over the Pakistan army is to burst the balloon of their ego. They have repeatedly fed lies to the people of Pakistan that they are a great fighting force. And only times in history when they have been humbled and brought in front of the National Assembly to apologize and give an explanation for their military screw-ups was in the 71 war, when they surrendered, and after Bin Laden was eliminated from very nose of the Pakistan army at Kakul. Now the world must see the evidence of how they have refused to acknowledge the surgical strikes, which was a complete slap on their face. And I repeat what I said earlier, this was the most daring and precisely carried out military commando strikes, perhaps the best ever since World War II. The second is that the Siachen Glacier fiasco of the Pakistan army must be made public to the world, that they never reach there, they just keep trumpeting about it. Unfortunately, there is a very large constituency of the bureaucracy in Delhi which believes that you don't want to internationalize the issue by humiliating the Pakistan army. The one way you can get them to eat humble pie and fall in line with the Indian desire for better relations, if there ever will be, which I doubt, is to humiliate them globally, publicly, and in front of their people. Then their myth will be broken that there's some kind of a counter to India. Until we allow them
spoken by the Indian
and
army.
also
These
find
are
solution to
entire
Kashmir
issues,
problem.
the gamut of
Everything will
issues
be all right.
really
Maruf sir,
that we need to
everything will be
do
all right.
with Pakistan. And as you say, Maruf and Major General G.D. Bakshi and others here on the panel, that we need to take Pakistan to the international table and name and shame them and show all the evidence that we have of what they've done with our soldiers and how Pakistan needs to be made to pay for in their own way for what they have inflicted on India. Retribution is the language the army is talking about, and retribution is something that the Indians here are waiting for. Thank you very much for joining us here on the debate number 1. We'll stick.
Our army is a disciplined army, one of the disciplined army.
Thank you for joining us on debate number 1. We'll take a short break and be right back with a News Hour Direct with Ravi Shankar Prasad in just a bit from now. Short break, back soon.